All right, carrying on with nonverbal communication. Let's look at the functions of nonverbal communication. This is why we actually need them, what we use them for. The first one is repeating. That's the idea of re-emphasizing the spoken word. It's like the idea of giving someone directions and saying, if you go out the classroom, you go out here, take a left, and then go down and take a right, and go all the way down to the hall, and it's the last door on your right. So I'm using my hand signals along with the spoken word to emphasize things. The next one is substituting. It's the idea of using those instead of spoken word. How are you feeling? What's up? Those kind of things. We use those a lot. In fact, we use them more as children, but we still use them today, especially when we're across from. It's just like the quick wave. Instead of actually saying, hey, how's it going? You know, the head nod, whatever you're talking about. The next one is complimenting. It's adding to the spoken word. It's adding, it's like when you're telling a story or you're talking to people and you start adding a little more thing, or you start saying, and then they were really whiny and they just didn't do what they're supposed to do. And it's adding those emphasis or adding the sounds like, and the cow goes moo, and then they tiptoe down the bridge. It's adding change. It's whether you're using tonal voice, whether you're using motions and you're doing sad things or whatever, adding facial expressions. It's emphasizing, it's complimenting, it's making things better or more understandable. The next one is regulating. This is the idea of controlling the flow of information. So if you've ever heard some really strong speaking debaters where you pick some people that talk really, really fast, there's not a lot of emphasis or change in their voice. They just get up there and talk really, really fast, as quick as they can, and say as many words as possible, thinking that they're going to make a better argument because they're getting more speech. It's very boring and it doesn't think. But if you're adding pitch and tone and you're trying to change and you're trying to vary your thing, and you're trying to sound like you're more interesting and trying to engage people more, it's going to regulate how fast you can talk. In fact, sometimes you're going to put pauses in, like William Shatner, who just randomly adds pauses for some kind of dramatic effect. After that, we're looking at contradicting. This can be as much as somebody yelling at you saying, I'm not mad, or fine, do whatever you want. Or it can be to the point where we are going to have a test in 5 minutes. Any of those things are contradicting to what's actually being said. So that's another use for it. And the last one that we're going to talk about is deceiving. Deceiving is the idea, and usually it's more contradictory or telling, but deceiving is that we're going to lie. Sometimes we're masking our emotions and we're using that to deceive, but sometimes we're using it to tell. For example, there's this notion that when you're lying, you tend to itch more, or you touch your nose. Well, there's a theory behind this. The logic is that if you're lying, your blood pressure goes up, therefore the blood flows to your face and all your capillaries, and you've got a lot of capillaries in your nose. When they get hot or warmed up by the blood, it causes you to itch and you touch this. If you don't think this is true, watch a video of Bill Clinton. Either he's lying or he's got a serious coke problem because he'll be sitting there playing with his nose the whole time during the testimony. There's also the idea that if you are lying to someone, you're looking up and to the right, because up and to the right means you're being creative. So you're trying to think up an answer. You're making something up. Up and to the left means that you're recalling things. You're losing a logic. So you're actually trying to recall your memories, not make up a story. And there's several ones that they say that if you're lying, use shorter responses. But I can tell you that my personal experience is that people who lie tend to elaborate way too much. They put way more information in there than is necessary. And of course, they say they blink more or they use more filler words.